Hey everyone, Admiral Seabass here. Welcome back to my war room in Indianapolis, Indiana, and welcome to Operation Fulda Gap Turn 4.3. Let's cut right to the chase and get straight into it. Uh, I am at 33. I was at 28, and the Soviets transited a bunch of ships here and here through the Turkish Straits, which gives me an escalation income increase. So I'm at 33 and at DEFCON 3, which allows me to declare war on a minor faction, which I will be doing this turn. But first things first, after escalation, let's do technology research. So here we go. So I will be putting one dice on technology 2 AMD, need an 8 or higher. One dice on technology 5 Caterpillar Drive, needed 8 or higher. One dice on technology 9 Advanced Air Superiority Fighters, need a 7 or higher. Two dice on advanced sonar, that is technology 11, also need an 8 or higher. So let's see what we can get. Okay, so that's a fail. That's a fail. But these are successes. So AMD, oh, well, there we go. If you're only going to get two, get the two that you're on stage 3 on. So AMD is complete, and advanced sonar is complete. Most excellent. All right. Conduct global operations. Once again, trying to put down communism in Central America. My advisor gives me one dice. I have paid 2 IPP for 2 more dice. And this is in Costa Rica. So I have 3 dice, and I am looking for a 10 or higher. That's a 449. So this is just absolutely comical at this point. So Costa Rica will fall to the PRF. So another PRF land zone. And let me check the minor reference sheet to see if anything happens to Panama. One moment, please. Flip, flip, flip. All right, we're on the minor reference sheet. Where's Panama? Panama. Add 2 paramilitary. PRF possesses a neighboring land zone. All right, so we will do that. Grab a chip. So they now have a SPAG, a mech, and 2 paramilitary. All right, so, and that will give me another 2 IPP to 35. Okay, purchase. 28 IPP, already spent 2 on the counterinsurgency, a fighter for 8, 2 airborne for 8, 2 light infantry for 6, and a marine for 4. All right, combat. Let me do one of the simpler combat moves first. This fighter on ASW Air Patrol is coming off, and he is landing there at the U.S. Air Base in Azores because I can now reinforce my allies. And that's a NATO land zone, so I can land there. I might do some other ASW Air Patrol stuff, but I'm not exactly sure yet. But in terms of the combat moves, I am declaring war on the PRF. That's the one minor faction. So I will be attacking Guatemala. And that is here. Guatemala borders Mexico, and now that I can reinforce my allies, I can move through East Mexico with these two next-gen MBTs. 1, 2 into Guatemala. I can also bring this strategic bomber to there, and he will fire 2 cruise missiles, and they will join the party here in Guatemala. So they will fire into Guatemala. So reflect 3 next-gen MBTs and 2 cruise missiles against the SAM, which will retire, and 2 light infantry. And then in Nicaragua, I'll show you what I'm bringing into Nicaragua, and I will just do that here. And I already have the Nicaraguan forces on the map. So 1, 2, 3 airborne, and I'll just put them all the stuff I'm bringing out here. 3 airborne, and let's see, the amphibious assault ship that's in A36 will move back to A33. He will pick up the 2 Marines, and they will move back to A36, and he will drop those 2 Marines off along with the attack helicopter. Okay. The 2 attack bombers are coming as well as the fighter from southern United States and the 2 fighters from the supercarrier will also come. And the cruiser will be doing shore bombardment, so I'll just put him out here like that. And I think that's it in terms of everything I'm bringing into Nicaragua. Okay, so let me take you over to the battle board. Just realize you're not going to be able to see the dice tray. I'll fix that in a minute. Actually, let me go a little bit wider here. Ooh, that glare. It's not much better. Let's see if I can push this forward. That'll help. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. First, my 3 fighters will all be over here in the regular combat box. And in doing that, since I have seed, I can lower 1 first strike each from, I'm sorry, got tongue-tied there. For each fighter, an enemy SAM loses their first strike. So that's 3 SAMs, which are now down here at regular combat. So they will no longer have first strike. Okay, and then I've got my 2 attack bombers attacking at a 7. And just look, there's no terrain here. My attack helicopter at a 6. My 2 Marines. 2 Marines normally attack at 2. In amphibious assault, they attack at 3. In amphibious assault with close air support, they attack at 4. And then my 3 airborne attacking at 3 in airborne assault. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, and I have my cruiser, which gets a first strike shore bombard, which I'll put right there. So let me see if I can get the dice tray in view here. That's pretty close. Let me see. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and roll the first strike, cruiser, at a 2 or less. Oh, 1. Okay, Captain G, we didn't talk about this, but I'm assuming you're going to want your SAMs to shoot, so you would lose the light infantry. If that's wrong, we can certainly correct that. All right, thank you, cruiser. All right. Put him back on the board. He doesn't get to shoot again. So now, let's start at the top with the 2 attack bombers. There's 2 hits. So 2 regular hits. Yep, you saw that. Let's go with the 3 fighters at 6 and the attack helicopter at a 6. Oh, that's not good. Only 1 more hit. So that's 3 hits. And then the 2 Marines at a 4. Miss. And the 3 airborne at a 3. Miss. I'm trying hard, Captain G, to be a good sport here, but this PRF is a burr in my saddle. That's for sure. So that's 3 hits, so he's going to lose his SAMs as his casualties. Actually, they come down here. Let's roll the attack helo first at a 4. Of course, that's a hit. And now the big one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eligible air defense targets. So he will get 9 dice. And I'm just going to grab 9 dice here and roll these. And we're looking for 1s and 2s. This dice is cocked. I'm going to re-roll it, but those are all misses. That's a 4. Okay. All right. We're even now. That is no hits with his air defense. And I owe him a casualty, which will be a Marine. Okay. And I think I have to take the Marine. It's kind of one of those little rules nuances that I've never gone back to clarify in my own rule set, but we'll see. All right, let's start from the top again. 2 7s. There's 2 hits, so I don't think we need to do any of the rest of the battle. And he's got a dice at 4 or less, and it misses. All right, so no harm there. He didn't hit in the second round anyway. All right, so let's reflect that the U.S. has captured. We have captured Nicaragua from the PRF. U.S. will go up 1, but it's 1 that we have to track separately because it does not count for DEFCON escalation purposes. And I will go ahead and put the 3 airborne in the Marines here in Nicaragua. And then I'll go ahead and put all that air power offshore there because I'm running out of room. Even in the blow-up box, Central America gets busy. And then we'll resolve the battle in Guatemala. Okay, so in Guatemala, we've got 3 next gens and 2 cruise missiles against a 2 light infantry and a SAM. And this is jungle, so my next gens will be at -1 on all rounds of combat. the SAM retires. So I'm just going to go over here and roll dice. So I've got 2 SAMs at 5, first strike. So let's roll those. Oh, excellent. 2 hits. Battle's over. Okay. That was fortunate. Fortunate. So the SAM retired. The 2 light infantry are taken as the cruise missile casualties. The cruise missiles obviously die. And we take Guatemala. And that's not worth any IPP. Okay. All right. So let's roll into non-combat movement. And let's keep you here. So one of these fighters is going to land in Panama, our ally. So we will land there. Actually, no, I'm not going to land in Guatemala. Never mind that. One of the fighters will have to go back. Here, let me do this. It's kind of hard to get an angle here that works between the blow-up box and the main part of the map. That's about as good as we can do. So, Captain G, 2 of the fighters are definitely going back to land on the supercarrier in A36. Okay. The attack helicopter will actually combat land in Nicaragua. One of the fighters that came off the supercarrier would have enough movement to get back to southern United States, which is where they're going to go. And then the 2 attack bombers, one of them will go back to northeastern United States. The other one will go back to... Actually, no, they'll both go back to southern United States. Let's just put them there. All right. So in Nicaragua, I have 3 airborne, a Marine, and an attack helicopter. Okay. Then the strategic bomber will go back to Great Lakes. Let me put these ships back on here. Two of the ASW helicopters. I have 2 ASW helicopters here in A36. So I'm going to swap the chip over here, put it under A29, and bring this guy back here. So that was just a swap. We're going to put one of these ASW helicopters on ASW Air Patrol in A37. We're going to move the other one over here on ASW Air Patrol in A34. That gives me 3 ASW helos in A29, 2 in A34, and 1 in A37. Okay. My SPAG is going to come over here to southern United States. Yep. And then I think that's it for Central America. Okay. So up here, my 2 nuclear attack subs are what you might hear us call them SSNs. Those are going to move up 1 to A15 because we still can only move 1 C zone. Okay. Then let's go over here to the Persian Gulf. Okay. My strategic bomber that is located in Diego Garcia is going to go 1 I-10, 2 I-8, 3 I-4, 5 I-5, and 6 into Suez, where we have a U.S. airbase. Okay, so here, my boomer is going to move in I-6. It's one allowable movement with my fleet. One of the ASW helos will extend their patrol to I-11. And then the destroyer from the fleet will move. No, he will not. And then my nuclear attack sub will move to I-12. Like that. And I think that's how I want to do that. And then, hang on just a second. Let me think. Yes, that's how we will leave that. And then I have a Top Gun air superiority fighter, a fighter, and an air superiority fighter on the supercarrier, which you can see here. One of those, the Top Gun air superiority fighter, is going to rebase from the supercarrier all the way up to Scotland. Okay. And let me double check my notes before I close off. Take a look at my newly painted pieces there in NATO. I went to the Tamiya light blue for the NATO. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's place units. So, all right. The light infantry will be built. Let's see, where will they be built? One will be built here in central United States. And we will build another here in Gulf states. The 2 airborne and the Marine will all be built at the major Army base in southern United States. And the fighter will be built again at the major air base in southern United States. All right, I'm just looking here at Florida, and man, my heart goes out to the people of Florida. They've been through a lot lately with Hurricane Helene and now the new hurricane, I can't remember, Herbert maybe. Man, it looks like it's going to do a number on the Gulf area and Tampa in particular. So my aunt and uncle live in St. Pete, and they're in Ocala now, and just praying for them and everybody in that state. So anyway, okay, so those are all my units. So now I just need to collect income. So I'm at 35 IPP. So grab some awesome Flak 88 chips, a 25 and a 10. Put them down there, and we will move, actually, from turn 4 to turn 5. Turn it over to Flak 88. Take care, everyone.